All right, good morning again. A little later in the morning now. I just wanted to do a little bit more in-depth video showing how this application works and how I'm working through this data set that I shared earlier. So this analysis, market analysis. So just bear with me 1 second here. I'm going to switch over to my main screen. So I've got okay, so I'm just going to load in my subject data. I've already entered this once, but I can now hit load data. It populates where the subject is on this map. I'm going to skip down here. There's a bit of an overview here of the market, some market stats, sales to asking price ratio, some sales volumes, all that kind of stuff. But I really want to talk about the map, the ability to create custom markets from the data. So I brought in, this is 2 markets. This guy's here and these ones here. So they are right here. Zoom that in a little bit. Move that over a little bit. Okay, so this looks a little bit of chaos, but I got 2 markets. This Armstrong, Spallumption, and Inrod. So I had talked earlier today about sort of the transition of the compositional shift in markets. So I've got a wide variety of data here, like a lot to sort through. How we're going to work through this. So what I can do is I can go into my map, and I can these are townhome developments, typically small townhome developments. So my subject's up over here, and I've got some other developments here. These are on a river here. This is a popular feature. Parks and everything along here. This is a desirable feature. So I've got a couple options that I can work with here to help me determine these sort of sub markets. I can create neighborhoods. I can just go in and create like I can draw a map or a box around here, and I can create a data set. So I'll click this to create a data set, and then what that'll do, and I can do this multiple times for each neighborhood or development. I can also, if I'm just trying to get my head around what's going on up here, like where are these? I can highlight those, and then I can do something like this. Sorry, I can go to selected sales. So I have this set up here to show me where are those sales. Well, those outliers are up here, and it looks like there's 2 different developments that make up those sales. These ones are newer and on a golf course, so we can talk about that later. And these ones are also sort of a generally newer, right beside a middle school and a secondary school. So again, distance to amenities might be an appeal feature here between these 2. But let's dig in a little further on this. So I'm going to turn all those layers back on. And then, okay, now just to save a couple minutes here, what I did is I went through and on the map created each of these developments into their own market. And so I can now, so that's just going to update. Okay, so now I have all the different markets. These are all now, there's a few hangovers here that are just from the overall market that didn't fit into the major groups, and we'll probably just get rid of those. Okay, so I've got all these markets in here, and again, well, it looks like we've got total chaos, but now we can start to see what's actually going on here. So some of those units that were up in here, I can turn those off just to help visually. I can turn off the trend lines. I can get rid of these rolling median. These are 3-month rolling median means, just because of this sporadic data, heteroscedastic data. They're just not very helpful at this point in time. And we'll probably have to do more than 3-month rolling. So with this little amount of data. Okay, so again, I can turn these on or off, and I can also start to filter them out. So now I can say, like, I can just turn them on visually, or I can go up into here. Okay, so I can go up into here, and now I've got all these new neighborhoods in here where I just had the original Armstrong Interby. So now I can start turning those off. Before I do that, I just want to point out, here is my subject market. Oops, wrong. Okay, so now, so just, I think you could see that in there, that the subject market is way back here, like the last, not market, sorry, the subject development. The last sales in the subject development were in here. So, you know, these obviously are probably not my directly competitive. We can definitely get rid of this one. It's not doing us anywhere good. The last one sold there is similar to the last time something sold in our subject. You know, maybe these ones, but they're, again, last sale was spring, May. So it's not super helpful. Maybe this one, it's getting closer in. Maybe we can bracket it with this one here. So let's go and get rid of those guys. So just going to scroll up here and use this filter. I'm going to get rid of, it was, and I made these names up as I went through. I used the names from the developments. Royal York, Country Lane filter. Okay, so that's going to get rid of those two. So now we just have this Willowbrook Terrace. This is just overall, so I could probably just get rid of this overall. There's only these counts over here are the number of observations in that data set. So I mean, I can drill into this a little bit, but for this presentation, I'm just going to get rid of those in a Regenrod. Just filter those out. Back in there. And you know, there's not a lot to really bracket this subject here, which is now I've lost it here. These guys down here, nope. I think we can get rid of this Armstrong stragglers there. So we'll just get rid of those guys. Back. It's getting a little cleaner here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these guys down here. Again, they're just the, you know, there's the last sale for that guy there. You've only had one recent sale, and it appears to be like a low liar. Our subject is a newer building. This is in a different neighborhood. I feel pretty justified to get rid of that one. And before I, when I say get rid of, I'm going to, at the end of all this, develop a benchmark that I can adjust all the data to current, and I can do some more analysis on these relationships. Again, I think appraiser hat on. I think it would be reasonably fair to get rid of this data set here just to help narrow this down. When I say data set, I mean neighborhood, submarket. Okay. Okay, so now we're starting to get fairly narrowed in here, and here's my subject development. The subject is a newer building. These properties in this development were built between 2011 and 2020. Subject was built in 2019. So, and it's, among the more conforming, more similar to the higher priced units. I'm not going to use the word superior or inferior, but I'm going to use those words. But now let's start talking about the trends. So this smooth line that's been sitting here in the background the whole time is, I can adjust the span on that, but it's reading all of this data And but if I look at each of these markets individually, let's just focus on these two here for a second. So we can turn the subject off, turn that there. Oops, sorry, you can see I'm hitting the wrong one. Okay, so now we've got it down to two that are reasonably conforming markets. Just showing the subjects in here. So what's pulling this line around? Like, okay, well, let's play with it a little bit. It's going to go crazy here. So you can see here is a part of what I would say is a compositional shift. These two markets here, this one here and this one here. So okay, but so I just want to point it out. So now I've got, okay, this line is not very reliable for a trend adjustment, but it clearly shows kind of what's going on in here. You've got a shift from all these, sales in the higher priced, development, newer, larger neighborhood area, closer to larger city centers, generally higher priced market. And there's a shift down to these sales up over here. So, is that an actual market shift in value? Well, we're going to try and determine that. Okay, so I didn't do anything else other than just filter out those other neighborhoods. So now we have just this data set here. It's obviously this is an overfitting trend line. So we could turn that up to a smoother fitting line. Sure, we can manipulate that trend line. You could play around with a polynomial or linear trend. You could shift dates around to get number lines to move, but I think we're just looking for a best fit here. I don't think you're going to get a polynomial to necessarily fit this data. It's fairly sharp in here, smooth for quite a while, and then this fairly steep jump in here. So you might get a polynomial, maybe a fourth order that might fit in here, but I don't have high hope for that. Okay, so so what's going on in here? Is there a shift in we could look at this and say, well, we've got some lower values here and some higher values here. Maybe that's two different unit types. I mean, these are all in the same development. So we can do this. I can take a copy of those, come down here, and that goes, I can copy that. This populates a table down here that shows those entries. And I copy that to my clipboard. Open my MLS here. My MLS has a quick search there where I can search MLS numbers. You might have a different way we can integrate this. So, okay, so it's like a week later now. Coming back, I got cut off right at this point, and accidentally shut my recording software off, and then life took over and other assignments came in. So I'm back at it here. I gotta share my screen. Okay, so I went back in and reloaded the model. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that for a year now. I'm just gonna hit refresh. I can just refresh the browser, and I'm gonna show you. So I basically just came back in here, restarted this up. It's just loading up the data there now. It's a pretty big data set. It takes a minute, so I can hit the load data button there. So that reload sets everything back to what it was. Relocates the property to its location. I'm just going to go back right down into this OIF model here. I am going to I'll open up the model here first. I'm going to show my plot options. So I had approved sales. I had neighborhood trend lines on here. I had a smooth trend line showing, and this was all of the data. And then I've saved it, so now I can restart there, or I can go back in and go here, neighborhoods. So I've got all those neighborhoods. I'm going to take off, select all, like that, and I just had this one market showing at that stage. I was just showing that one development there. So go there and then filter that. And it's just going to refilter it back to there. I had this trend line, you know, I don't know, I can reset it to where it was, just for being keeping things exact. Okay, so that should look pretty much exactly, other than I might have the scale out a little bit here because I can drag that around, but that should look pretty much the same as where it was looking last time. So what I was getting at was I can go in here, highlight these, and find out what those are. You know, they're all sort of below the trend. What are these? So I go in and I just copy this to my clipboard there, and then I go to my MLS. I use my paste function. There they are now. I'm just going to sort them by sold date here. Oops. Yes, sold date. There might have already been sorted, but so I can look at these. Okay, so so what I can tell right away about this is it's an inside unit. Okay, 2,268 square foot inside unit. Then the next one. Okay, that's a pretty clear indication that that is an inside unit. And then it looks like that one actually sold twice in the data set. You can see the address didn't change there. So we have 3 inside units. These are all inside units. Okay, let's go back to the plot. So this, I was talking about compositional shift in markets. So we've sort of have this trend line being pulled down. And now if I had this really tightened up, you know, you might see something like that. But anyway, just that, because you know, it's just one data point that's pulling that everything down at the end. So okay, so I can go in here and I can, you know, grab these 3 here and copy those to my clipboard and go back to, I'll just, you know, I'm just gonna create a new tab so that I can go back and forth if I need to. Sold, oops, just make sure they're sorted by date. They're probably already words, just a habit I have. Okay, so this looks like an end unit. They've made that pretty clear. Probably says end unit in the description. End unit, end unit. All right, realtors are mentioning end unit. I bet you these, well, these might say inside units. It depends on the market. Sometimes realtors want, oops, to be clear, so they, you know, if people are looking for that particular feature. Oh, those again, those are the same. Anyways, yeah, so they're not mentioning inside when they're inside units, but they are mentioning their end units. And lo and behold, there appears to be a value difference. Again, we've got another end unit here. You could triple check that, but I'm sure they're not taking a picture of the neighbor's door. So that's that there. Oops, stop that. Stop that. There. There. Well, it does appear a big picture of the neighbor's door. Hang on a second. Sorry, that is a 4. It's just hard to see. I just keep doing anyways, you're gonna trust me on this one. I know you are. It's an end unit, and there you go. Appears to be another end unit. Okay, so there appears to be a value difference for inside versus end units, and the trend appears to be pretty linear, really, all the way through. So, that's last sale 2023, last sale 2024, 12. So, yeah, a little over a year, 14 months later or so. So I wouldn't call that a shift in the market. I would, in this case, maybe even the linear trend, or maybe I'd smooth that line right out and get something even closer. Yeah, I don't, based on other market statistics, month supply and all that, I don't think that's accurate either. So I'd probably try and fit somewhere right in like that. Maybe that looks like it might fit. But anyways, point is, complex markets, more advanced analysis. I don't recall everything that I covered in the first section of the video, but I just wanted to finish that off, and make that point and show that was really comprehensive, helpful system to be able to just go in, zoom in, check out these points. What are these data points? What is going on in this market? Really quickly, you can identify it. That's not a trend I would have necessarily picked up on looking through, if I was looking at all that data, that would have been whatever that is, 9 or 10, 9 entries, in that period. So yeah, you might pick up on it, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't have normally, looked for differences between inside and end units. I always kind of do, but here paints the picture just in a different way. So hopefully that was helpful, and if I have to do some follow-up on some other points that I intended to cover on this one, I'll do it. But all right, thanks for tuning in. Where am I at? Thanks for tuning in, and look forward to more conversations and ideas and discussions. So thanks very much, and have a great day.
Take care.
Uh-oh, Paul Rayburn raised his hand.
Oh, no, not Paul.
We're going to be here for 45 minutes now.
Paul is one of our greatest contributors from Canada. I taught him, where was it?
Winnipeg.
Paul, did you have a question?
Oh, you need to unmute yourself.
Paul?
I thought it was in BC.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's in BC.
Oh, there he is.
That's the new recreation park they have in British
Paul is
Columbia.
very active, does a whole lot of
Oh, you're
stuff.
still muted.
Yeah.
Well, Paul's muted, not talking to anybody. I'll just mention.
There we go.
He came up.
Okay, Paul. No, your microphone's not working, buddy.
Okay, Craig, talk.
Real quick. Nobody should be using a 1004MC ever. It was retired in 2018 by the GSEs because they have no faith in it.
Correct.
So,
but some banks still require it, in which case you must use it.
VA still asks for it?
Nope.
Good.
But some individual lenders will still require it.
Do they know why they require it?
Probably not, but
Inertia, habit.
Wells Fargo still requires it.
It's much more important to look like you're doing something than actually do it well.
Those become prior clients to me.
Okay, Paul, do we have sound?
Nope.
nope.
No.
Well, doggone it.
Can you type your question really
Yeah,
fast?
type your question or comment, Paul.
Good idea. In the chat?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it
he's,
looks like he's going for it.
yeah.
Is that the real Paul or is that an AI Paul? That might not be the real Paul.
I don't know. The hair's a little different, and so are the glasses. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Notice his hair is a little different than it's been in the past. Maybe it's bad AI.
And I've never seen a palm tree in BC before.
There's something that's not credible about this.
Hey, does your phone work? Give me a call and I'll put you on speaker for the group.
Oh my God. Okay, those of you that want to hang out,
Here, write it out on a big whiteboard.
you're welcome to.
I turned off the whiteboard.
We still got about 20 people on the call here, so.
I'm 112.
112.
If that was
Oh.
AI, Paul, there he'd have 3 ears.
This is true. This is true. Come on, Paul, give me a call.
Yeah, if it was AI, he'd definitely be very shiny. Hey, there's Gary, live and in person.
Paul, are you calling Cindy?
He hasn't so far.
Hey, come on, Paul. We need that Canadian accent, eh?
Hey?
Hey,
Here it is. Oops, it went away. It was in the chat.
That Stephen, can you plot out several neighborhoods for like 10 years on the same plot? Let's see. Not be answering that.
Paul's saying goodbye.
Sorry, Paul. It took so long to get that out there. You left.
Paul will be in Las Vegas with us next month, and you can ask him then.
yes, Paul will be there.
Here.
Yep, Paul will be
All right.
live in conference.
Okay, the rest of you go home.